Porco!
Miyazaki is amazingly creative. And Porco Rosso, I just think it's really unique.
I was just totally intrigued by the sensibility and the style of it.
What I love most about Miyazaki's work are the layers that he puts into it. It's geared towards adults just as much as it's geared towards children.
Porco Rosso has the mark of Miyazaki. It's got flying, it's got pigs, and it's got a very precocious young girl.
Theo, what do you think you're doing?
I'm rigging up my seat. Just give me about 5 seconds.
When I tell people that I do voiceovers for animation, the one thing they always ask about is the process. What's the process like? How do you do that?
The whole ADR process and recording process is pretty fascinating because on one aspect it's technical, but also you get to see how we create those performances with the actors so that they can make these characters come alive for a US audience in a whole new and different way.
I find I really like doing the Miyazaki films because I find that the finished animation is the inspiration.
In a way, it's almost like I'm creating a character that's already been created. So there has to be a sense of respect for what's already been drawn.
The script was a little difficult because they had to rewrite it in order to fit the mouth movements of the characters on screen.
Someday I'm gonna give this thing an overhaul.
Working to finished product means you work very narrowly.
The hard part is trying to fit the lines in to the mouth movements of the animated character on the screen who's speaking Japanese.
But that's the same age I am.
You start to say, well, yeah, we can't do exactly that. We gotta move it over here, move it here. And that's somewhere you find it.
Maybe it's better to use this word here because you can see that the mouth is closing on that particular vowel.
Your mouth needs to open and shut at the same time that their mouth opens and shuts. And all of that while doing some sort of performance that will capture their hearts. It's a cinch.
It's challenging. It makes a different part of your brain work. It takes a lot of focus and concentration.
They sit in that little booth and then they have all this energy and they're having this conversation with no one.
It's different because you don't get to play off of somebody else's chemistry.
I'm playing opposite Michael Keaton and Carrie Always, and yet I've never met them. That takes talent.
I would say the oddest thing about this kind of work is not to have other actors there. Because you do need that energy. You need to hear another actor's reading of a line so you can match or come under or top what they've done to keep things moving and rich.
That'll cost you a lot more.
It is a form of craziness, and because I've done it before, it's beginning to seem normal. Is there something wrong with that?
We've got trash from all over the Mediterranean. Gangsters, smugglers, gamblers. Maybe a handful of respectable people.
When you're offered an opportunity to play a pig who's an airplane flying ace, how do you not do that? I mean, you just gotta do that, I think, don't you? But he's like a Bogart type character, kind of cynical, kind of tough guy.
Or maybe I'm dead and life as a pig is the same thing as hell.
When I watched it, I thought, this is so kind of fun and cool.
I'd be careful if you plan on making a deal.
It's just a little offbeat from what I think we're used to.
She sure is incredible.
Quand nous chanterons le temps de cerises et guerre aux oignons et mêle mon cœur. I love Japanese animation in that the characters tend to be more complex. I love Gina because she's got a history. She's very deep.
I just can't tell you how much your friendship means to me.
She's a beautiful woman in a man's world, and she does kind of have them wrapped around her little finger, and she can tell these guys who are mobsters to kind of, hey, you know, lay off.
Well, look at this. All you handsome pirate bosses at one table.
And she sings. What's not to love? Okay, it takes place in Italy. It was originally in Japanese. Now it's in English, but she sings in French. Pendant de corail, conquérir. I think it's such a fascinating thing, creating life and performance in such a technical space.
Sais-tu? C'est fini.
Where'd you find the girl?
I just had fun with Theo. She's young and spunky, and I tapped into that part of myself and raised my voice level a little bit to make her sound a little younger.
If I don't do a good job, you don't have to pay. Okay, Grandpa?
She's my granddaughter. She'll do fine.
This is the first time I've ever done an animated film. It was really a different process trying to match my voice to an animated character.
Is there a pause after Why Don't You Sleep on It?
It's fun seeing a cartoon come to life with your voice.
Now, girls, this is not a playground. I love voiceover work because you don't have to bathe. You know what I mean? You roll out of bed, you put your right shoe on, and you just wait for the cab. Ready? Look at that! Porco gave him the loo. The character's name is Boss. I either play an oaf or a thug. That's been my career. Curtis is up first. He reminds me of the Bluto character in Popeye. He's kind of that big, loud type of guy. You know, that the voice that the wife loves when we're, you know, taking a seaside walk.
I'll tune this up just right.
David Agnesires just hits it. She'll say a line and we go, oh, the line's great.
Take her. I'll give you a good deal on her salary, and I know she'll come in handy.
And he goes, no, it's more like this.
I wouldn't mind trying to lift the pitch again.
Take her. I'll give you a good deal on her salary, and I know she'll come in handy.
And we go, ooh, that was right.
I love that one.
You fall into the rhythm, you begin to understand the character, the sound, the relationships, the through line, and it gets a little easier.
Besides, I want you back in business so I can get paid.
I love this kind of work.
Carrie as Donald is a really interesting match because Donald is from Texas, Carrie's from England. He pulls off the southern accent without a problem.
I might just take it back to Texas as a gift from Ma.
And can you add a little bit more excitement to the first line too?
I love the challenge of being able to come up with a character and really bringing a piece of animation to life. There's a great sense of satisfaction once it fits.
I'm a bona fide celebrity.
Good.
Good.
It's a very exciting thing to be a part of, day in, day out, and working with those actors and coming up with the ideas that they put into those characters.
It's definitely a challenge trying to make something your own, but obstacles spur me on to try and be more creative. You have to get up pretty early in the morning to hit notes that low.
You're not inventing the wheel. You're adding some little decoration to the spoke that's already on the wheel.
All of our jobs were challenging, but it was fun to do.
They're turning this into a big party.
I came in here not really knowing what to expect, but I really had a good time doing it.
Do we get it? Great!
Often, you know, you look at a finished film and you go, oh, that looked flawless and easy enough. But in fact, a great deal of work goes into it. It's a complete team effort. That's what it's all about.